Media Ministries, Reverend David Hupp. I wanted to show you some additional things that we use in our home. We do have a print shop in another city, but when we doing digital things with the laser printer, we don't always have time because of the quantity and the distance to go to the print shop. So in our one of our guest rooms here, we have some items I'd like to show you. First of all, we got ourselves a small size 12-inch wide laminator. This laminator has rollers top and bottom, and it can the idea is that when you print things digitally, as you see here, this book cover that we did for somebody, that the toner's on the surface, and it really, we feel, to add gloss and scratch resistance, because it's a toner based surface which is wax based. We want to be able to protect that better, so we coat it with a thin coating of a polyester, or actually the newest machines use nylon, because nylon doesn't curl in the heat process. It is a heat process, and so the things come out one card after another, one cover after another, and then we cut them apart when they come down on the floor. So there's that. The next thing I wanted to show you, down here we have a homemade swing line long throat, deep throat stapler on a board, and there are two settings here right in the middle, one for short booklets and one for long booklets. So basically you would put the booklet in here, and you would move the booklet to put the side of the booklet on those two red marks there, the edge of the booklet, either end, and then do a staple, sticking it in there, and then move it over to the other mark on the other end and do a staple. And then you just, because you've scored the booklet, you'll be able to fold it by hand in the middle. Now, the other thing it's essential to have is one of these X-Acto or equivalent brand hand cutters, so you can cut up business cards or make checkout samples, make a proof on the once you've designed something on the computer, you print out a copy, make a proof, cut it out, and fold it, and make sure everything looks good on the positioning of the print on the page after you've cut it, printed it, and folded it. Over here we have a hand paper cutter that does about 17 inches wide and probably deeper, something like 20 inches deep, and it has an adjustment handle with a worm gear on it for going forward and backwards, with a back gauge under there. And it also has this lever in the top, safety device here. You put the paper in, you you open it up like this, insert the paper down in there, close it down, secure it by pulling the handle over, and you can that's where it cuts in there with a guillotine blade. And then another important thing, couple more important things in the room here. One is this Martin Yale folder. Doesn't have to be that brand, but this brand was given to us, and I went through it, took it pretty much apart, parts from the manufacturer, headquarters in Indiana, and now it's a nice accurate folder. So these folders do like 14 by 20, and they're electric, so they don't take up too much space. That's nice. Next to this, we have over here what is a shrink wrapper. The shrink wrapper we used for sending bundling tracts, like booklet tracts, side-by-side stacks, and then we are able to shrink wrap them side by side, and that seals them. And then the heat gun that you don't see here, it shrinks it up to a nice compact size, so the things stay in good shape when they travel overseas. And so we could give you some examples here of a bundled. Here's an example of a bundled Know Your Future booklet situation here. You've got it's all shrunk down and protected for overseas travel. Now, one last thing. This over here is a paper jogger, You turn it on. I don't know if I'll turn it on. It makes noise, but it vibrates. See? And that vibration is able to jog the sheets together. When you print digitally printed things, then it doesn't the buildup of static electricity in the material you just printed makes it very hard to get the papers even and jog so you can cut them or fold them or deal with it. And then the other thing over here is a couple little scales that you use for sending things to the post office. We've been sending things by flat rate priority mail, medium-sized flat rate box with the United States Postal Service. It seems to be expensive, but the cheapest way to get something overseas. One more thing I'd like to show you is that all paper covers for books or booklets should be scored. And so what a person does is you adjust it so find the make marks for the middle of the sheet, put your sheet in here, and then you take the bone, what's called a bone, and you take the sharp or slightly sharp edge and you go across like this with downward force, and it makes a crease or a score mark on the outside of the cover and helps you to fold the covers unless you have a expensive machine like at our shop that does the job. Okay, that's a little tour of our auxiliary printing facility here. Bindery facility. Thanks for watching.